All right, so you're dropping cash on Instagram ads. You have to know it's working, right? But picking the right analytics tool, man, it can feel like you're walking through a minefield of just pure marketing hype. So today, let's put together a playbook. We're going to find the tool that actually makes you money, not one that just gives you a bunch of pretty, useless charts. Okay, first question, and I want you to be honest with yourself. You're on a website, you see a tool, and bam, a perfect 5-star rating is just plastered everywhere. What's that gut reaction? Is it, oh, great, this is the one? Do you feel that instant trust? Well, I'm here to tell you that very instinct could be costing you big time. Yeah, because that's where we're starting today. We are going to completely shatter that 5-star myth. You know those perfect scores you see on a company's own landing page? Let's call them what they are. They're marketing, plain and simple. To get the real truth, we have to dig a lot deeper. And this is the really crucial point here. A perfect score isn't just a little suspicious, it's a giant red flag. Think about it. Real users, people who actually use a tool day in and day out, they always have something to say. Maybe it's about the pricing or some weird little feature or the customer support. A totally flawless record, that just screams that the reviews are handpicked or worse, they're just not telling you the whole story. Okay, so if you can't trust the landing page, where do you go for the real story? Well, you need to go to what I call the pro vetting grounds. These are places where actual users are leaving verified, totally unfiltered feedback. And I'm going to show you the 3 gold standard platforms that all the pros are using. Meet your new best friends, G2, Capterra, and TrustRadius. Seriously, think of these sites as the engine rooms. This is where you get to see exactly how these tools perform when they're under pressure, for businesses that are probably a lot like yours. Now, what's cool is that each of these platforms has its own kind of specialty. G2, that's for your really in-depth, enterprise-level analysis with LinkedIn verified reviewers. Then you've got Capterra, which is awesome for just a sheer volume of reviews on features and pricing. And hey, pro tip, pay close attention to that ease of use score on Capterra. It's an amazing predictor of whether your team will actually use the software you buy. And finally, TrustRadius. Oh man, this is where you go to find the real nitty-gritty, the technical stuff. And that's the real power of digging this deep, right? I mean, listen to this. On TrustRadius, just one specific, super detailed review about a data export bug saves someone a $5,000 contract. Can you imagine? It saved them a massive headache. You are never going to find that kind of honest intel on a shiny sales page. No way. All right, so verified reviews are great. They're step 1. But what about the really raw, brutally honest conversations? You know, the unfiltered stuff. For that, we got to go to where the real talk happens. This means hitting up places like Reddit, specifically subreddits like r social media marketing or RPPC. This is where you go to the search bar and type in the tool's name plus words like problem, bug, or even alternative. These forums are just filled with pros talking about what really works and, maybe even more importantly, what absolutely doesn't. This is the goldmine for finding the complaints that companies work so hard to hide. And listen up, because here is an absolute gem of a pro tip you'll find in these communities. Before you even think about signing a contract, search for the tool's name, plus the phrase API lag or data lag. Seriously, this one simple search can expose a fatal flaw that makes a tool completely useless for any kind of time-sensitive campaign. So why is this so critical? Well, here's the deal. A lot of these third-party tools only pull fresh data from Meta every 12 or sometimes even every 24 hours. Now, imagine you're running a huge flash sale. You need to make quick decisions, right? A 24-hour data delay means you're basically flying blind. The tool becomes completely worthless for any kind of real-time campaign management. Look, these are the kinds of insider tips that can literally save you thousands of dollars and countless headaches. And if you want to apply this same level of sharp, strategic thinking to your entire ad strategy, well, you can find us over at mbl.com. Okay, now for a bit of a cautionary tale. Because a slow tool is one problem, right? But a tool that actively lies to you, that's a whole other level of nightmare. So let's talk about something called ghost data and how you can spot it before it absolutely destroys your budget. I want you to just imagine this for a second. You're running a big campaign. You log into your new shiny analytics tool and it says you've made a fantastic $10,000 in sales. You are on top of the world. You're feeling incredible. You're ready to pop the champagne and scale up that ad spend. But then you decide to double check your actual store backend, your Shopify, your WooCommerce. And the real number? It's only $2,000. That other $8,000? It's ghost data. It never existed. And just like that, your celebration turns into a full-blown panic attack, and you realize you were this close to pouring a ton more money into a campaign that was actually failing. So what on earth happened? The culprit, 9 times out of 10, is flawed attribution. The tool was aggressively double-counting what we call view-through conversions. That means it was taking credit for a sale even if someone just scrolled past your ad for half a second and never even clicked. The lesson here is absolutely critical. You have to verify how a tool handles its attribution. This is the #1 area where cheap, budget tools fail, and they fail spectacularly. Okay, so let's bring this all home. I'm going to give you a simple but really powerful 3-point sanity check. Use this checklist every single time you read a review, and I promise you'll protect yourself from all the marketing hype. First up, watch out for the fluff review. You know the one. It just says, "It's great," or "I love it," but doesn't mention a single specific feature. Useless. Second, be super skeptical of that perfect 5.0 score. Honestly, a tool with a 4.2 or a 4.5 is often way more trustworthy because it signals real, balanced feedback from actual users. And finally, #3, completely ignore dated reviews. Meta's API is always changing, so seriously, any review from before 2024 is pretty much ancient history at this point. It's obsolete. And there you have it. That is the insider's playbook. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Is the data you're looking at right now for your own business telling you the whole story? Or is it just telling you the story that the software company wants you to hear? Because trust me, the difference between those two can be everything. And hey, if you want to make absolutely sure you're getting that complete, accurate picture for your business, you can get a personalized strategy and consultation. Just visit us at methodbeile.com now.